All right, Jared, we good? We coming through? All right, Jared, we're going to test out Maggie's mic. So start talking, Maggie.
Test, test. Can you hear me?
All right, how's that sounding,
Good.
Jared? All right, go again.
Test, 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 test. Maggie Craig, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I.
All right, so that sounds good. All right, Jared. So we're going to sit tight here till about probably 58 after. And then I'll send you a message to click it on over to us. Does that sound good? All right, we got a minute.
Okay.
And you're doing color, so make sure, just remember, like, once I stop describing what happened, once I stop talking, then you start talking and, like, going into what happened.
Okay.
All right, 5 seconds. Yeah, the national anthem's playing right now here, so we'll take a brief hiatus here just for a sec here, and then we'll be right back. All right, and we're back here following the national anthem for tonight's men's volleyball game between the Mountain Union Purple Raiders and the visiting Olivet Comets. Both teams, this is their conference opener, and looking at the Raiders, last time out, it was a 3-2 win at Wittenberg on Tuesday, and for Olivet, they're coming off a 3-0 loss against Siena Heights. Looking into the Raiders' personnel, they're continuing to be led by junior outside hitter Justin Sybil, who has a team-high 125 kills, along with 10 service aces and 16 total blocks. And defensively for the Raiders, Stephen Grenier continuing to be a big part of them, leading the team with 111 digs. And shifting over to Olivet, they're led offensively by Aaron Smith, who leads the team with 86 kills with an additional 12 service aces. And for defensively for them, Aaron Giorgi leads them with 70 digs. And now, Maggie, what are some of your keys coming to today's game?
I think the Purple Raiders have a really good tendency to drag games out a little bit longer than they need to. They definitely play to the level of their opponent, and it will be crucial that the Purple Raiders stick to their playing level today, because this should be a relatively quick game in terms of just playing level. Mount Union has had a very good season with only one L on their schedule this year. They have had a tremendous season, especially considering it's year number 2. I think that crucial today, it's just going to be, one, service errors need to be definitely down, and then just that team chemistry. That the last time we were at home, they just, for some reason, couldn't get a team chemistry going, and right off the bat, being able to come out swinging is really important.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned playing down to their opponents, which we've seen them do it sometimes this year, and really I think a big key from there is limiting their errors. That's a big thing they talked about, was the message from Coach Mihalik after their win against Wittenberg last time we were here on the air. And I think if they can control their errors, this should be an easy 3-0 win for them, and move to 9-1 and get their first win in MCVL
I think that it's very, very important tonight to know too that all of the Purple Raiders are in good condition. They have all of their players playing. I know they have had some illness going around, and there was a game where they had their libero Stephen Grenier. He was taking it a little bit lighter. He was subbing in with Andrew Chen. They had Justin Sybil, who is basically their star player. He was out for an entire game. That was actually the game that they got that first loss. Their only loss of the season was the game that they had Mark Bruns, who is a very good player. He was sick and he wasn't capable of playing. Justin Sybil didn't even attend the game. So all of their players are in good health today, and they're ready. They're ready to bring it.
And looks like we're about to get underway here. Teams have all broken the huddle. Raiders sporting some purple jerseys, white numbers. And for Olivet, gray jerseys, red pants, white shorts for the Raiders. And for Olivet, white lettering with looks to be a red trim. And we're awaiting first serve here. Looking like we should be about to get underway. And we are going back to serve to open it up here for Olivet. Number 2, Devion Prince. Prince gets in, Chen up, set out, Bruns, blocked, and a whistle. And it's going to go to the Raiders. Looks like a comment was caught in the net there.
Beautiful first point of the game. Great way to start out.
Offense looking very good flow here. Now back to serve for the Raiders is setter Jeremy Layden. It's up, set middle, tipped, blocked back by Cross, up. Blocked again by Cross, whistle, and a comment in the net once again.
Wow.
Great start for the Raiders.
Looks like number 13 for Olivet needs to stay a little bit further away from the net.
That's going to be a key.
That's
for
number 2.
Yep, avoiding getting in that net. Raiders out to an early 2-0 lead here. Layden a strong serve to center back court. Set up outside, high, out and out of bounds.
Raiders have coming out with a strong start tonight. Wow.
Raiders up 3-0 here, and looking like they're gonna handle Olivet pretty solidly here. Layden looks like it's gonna go out of bounds, saved up, blocked out of bounds off of Sybil, and that's gonna get Olivet on the board here.
That's really difficult up at the net to control where that's going to go, especially with those 2 men blocking, making sure that it doesn't go wide.
All you really can do in that scenario is just try and press over the net and keep it on that side.
Keep it inside the pin.
Set out, Sybil a strong swing, but it's sent back. Set out, Bruns swings, and that's going to be a kill. And the Raiders are going to move ahead 4-1 here early on in the first. And that'll send Justin Sybil back to serve at the line now for Mount Union. Strong serve from Sybil, set up outside, tries to tip it and won't get it over the net. And that'll be a Purple Raider point.
We're seeing that reoccurring theme of them not being able to get it over past those blocks from Mount Union.
Raiders saying having a very good presence up there, up front on the net.
For sure.
Defensively to start off things here. Sybil another laser beam, tries to tip, gets it over, saved, up. Sybil a back row attack, set outside and blocked by Bruns. Still alive, Wicker keeps it up. Sybil a strong back row strike. Going outside, blocked down, and it's going to stay on Olivet's side. And that's one of those times where it's really hard to tell which side it went down on.
Yeah, I was just looking to see what the score was because I actually wasn't sure from the angle we're at. Nope, it was Mount's point. You're right.
Yeah, it's hard. Definitely hard to see where the ball when
yeah.
a ball comes straight down in front of the net. It's very hard to see from this angle. Another strong serve by Sybil up, a roll shot, dug up by Grenier, set up, cross, a kill.
It was a nice strong hit from the freshman.
Yeah, he was coming up big last time. He's been coming up big all season.
Oh yeah,
Andrew
for sure.
Cross, the freshman from St. Louis.
He's leading the team for blocks.
Yeah, that's true. He came into the game with a team high 22. Dug up, back row attack, Blocked back by Wicker. Set outside, swung, hits line, and that's going to be a point for Olivet. Comets cut the lead to 5 here, 7-2 in favor of Mount Union early on here in the first set. Dug up by Sybil. Set up outside. Bruns swings, hits the tape, gets it over. Set opposite, and that's going to hit the antenna. Got a little tongue-tied there, and it's going to be another Purple Raider point as Sam Matonis comes on. Strong serve from Andrew Cross. Set up, middle, swung. Cross digs it, but it's going to go way out of bounds. Raider lead back down to 5. This is number 11 for the Comets. Aaron Smith heads to the line. Aaron Smith, a nice serve into the back row. Big swing by Matonis, hits line.
Beautiful. Perfect placement. He saw that hole. It went through about two players' arms.
That was a great job there of splitting the block there as Bruns heads back to serve for the Raiders. Oh, I'm surprised I have a save there. And they are going to call it down, so that's going to be an ace for Bruns there. I was going to say, it looked like that ball hit the ground there before it was dug up. And the Raiders up 10-3 here in the first set, playing some pretty flawless volleyball.
Olivet seemed confused.
Strong serve by Bruns. Dug up, set outside, big swing, goes off of Matonis, and no one going to be there in the middle of the court to get it. And that'll be an Olivet point. Raiders still leading 10-4 here. Pringle at the line, sends it into the back row, dug up by Wicker, set out, Wicker swings, and Wicker's going to send it just wide left of the line. And that's going to get the lead down to 5 for the Raiders here in the first. Pringle looking to get the first nice serving run going here for the Comets. Up, Sybil, back row strike, heads out of bounds, and they're going to say it was tipped.
Wow.
That looked clean to me. I'm surprised we got that call there. It looked pretty clean to me. So it must have just barely glanced off the block. And Andrew Chen back to serve for the Raiders here. Slow serve, barely kept up by the Comets. Up, outside, swung. Saved by Sybil, set outside. Sybil up, roll shot. Outside. They're going to say Mount Union, Coach Mihalik thinks it hit the antenna, but it looked like it came just inside, just enough. And that's going to be a point for the Comets. Rock Pringle back this time for Olivet. A high serve, and it's going to go a few feet out of bounds. Looked to be probably 2-3 feet, my estimate up here from where we're sitting.
Looks like Cross is coming in for the Raiders, and Q, Colin Quattro, is going to be at the line.
And Quattro, we've seen logging some decent time as more of a serving specialist here for the Purple Raiders this year.
For sure. He's a nice float serve.
That was a nice low flow serve. And swung down with some authority by number 7, Dan Hayes for the Comets. And that was a heck of a swing there. I mean, he left no doubt that ball was going into the ground. Prince back to serve. A high serve set up. Cross. Dug up by the Comets. Set outside. Swung. Grenier can't quite get a hold of it. And that's going to be a Comet point. Prince, another off speed, set up, Sybil swing, and off the block by number 8, Aaron Georgi, and that's going to be a Purple Raider point. Raiders leading 13-8 here in the first as they continue to play pretty flawless brand of volleyball here with just one error here on the night.
Team's getting ready as Layden serves.
Strong serve by Layden. Set up outside, swung, hits line.
Looked
no,
wide.
They're going to say it went just out.
Yeah.
And that's going to put the Raiders up 6 once again here in the first set.
They've got themselves a nice dominated lead.
Their flawless plays got them in a very good spot here early on. A nice low serve, barely dug up by the Comets. Outside swing, off the block by Bruns,
Went
and it's going to
straight
hit
through
in.
Sybil and Grenier, and
And I have to imagine Steve must have thought that was going to go a little outside.
it looked like it might have.
It
He
certainly
still
looked-
had to be ready.
Yeah,
be ready.
You still got to be ready, but
Usually he's ready for those.
Grenier a dig. Layden sets up. Sybil swings. Sends it wide and out the back. And that's going to be a Comet point. Won't get the touch this time. Swing. Going backs. Dug out by Grenier. Bruns a swing. Kept alive by the Comets. Tipped over. Grenier keeps it alive. Set outside. Bruns with a swing. And that's going to be a Purple Raider point. Wait.
Bruns must
Nope.
have touched the net.
Nope. Looks like Mark Bruns, the sophomore hitter, must have gotten into the net there. Strong serve there. Doug sent back. Grenier a save. Sybil keeps it alive. Set outside. Swung. Kept on their side. Blocked back. Blocked back by Bruns. Set over by Sybil. Out back upside.
That
Tries to hit line and he won't.
wide. It's wide.
And that's going to be a Purple Raider point. And Brock Pringle can't believe he missed there.
It hit the line judge, but they still seem surprised.
Yeah, because the line judge, for those of you who don't know in volleyball, is standing just outside the corner. So if it hits them, it's almost certainly out. But it was close. I mean, I can't believe he didn't hit line there. Laser from Sybil. Tipped over. Layden up, Cross. And Cross is going to get the kill off the block. Raiders leading 16-11 here in the middle of the first. And that's going to force a timeout from Olivet here. Raiders leading 16-11. Maggie, what are your thoughts on the match thus far?
The chemistry that we were talking about at the beginning, we're definitely seeing that. The Raiders are definitely bringing that out of the gate. It's really, really nice to see. We have seen some issues with court placement, just all of that's really placing the ball nicely between these individuals, but they're playing some elementary volleyball. They're doing a really, really nice job.
We're playing a very good brand of volleyball right now. Very flawless. We've had probably really 3 bad plays. A hitting error. Grenier not quite playing the ball, and another where Grenier didn't quite get a good pass on it. Other than that, we've played pretty solid volleyball to start off
For sure,
tonight.
they've had a 5-point lead at least basically the entire game. They've kept it. And honestly, all the points that they have lost have been points due to just kills, those balls that you can't even really touch, or to errors, just balls going out because of blocks, things like that.
Yeah,
and there's not a whole lot you can do about that. They're doing a very, very nice job tonight.
Yeah, there's been some really strong swings tonight from some of Olivet's guys. There wasn't a whole lot you could do from if you didn't block
sure.
it at the net. But outside of those, we're playing what we can play. We're picking up tips. We're staying active on the net, getting blocks.
They're having a really, really, really great game up at the net. There's between Sybil and Cross and
Bruns.
And
Mark,
Bruns, yeah, for sure.
They're all having our front row is having a very good game defensively. That's for sure. Sybil's still back to serve. Strong serve, kept alive, set outside, swung. Oh, and that's going to hit within a foot, just inside, and that's going to be a kill for Olivet. And what a swing there. Ooh, serve barely in there by Georgie. May have even been out. Big kill by Spruns.
Every time Layden sets that outside Bruns, there's always something beautiful always happens.
It's hard to defend this Purple Raider team if you think about it, because you got Bruns.
Sybil, and Matonis, they all three.
If you try and double block any of them, and you try and cheat, they can hit someone else and burn you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, Wicker keeps it alive. Layden, a roll over the net. Up middle, swung, blocked by Wicker. Bruns a swing. Kept alive by the Comets. Outside, swung, Pringle, and Pringle's going to send it up and out of bounds. And that'll be a Purple Raider point. Great sequence there by the Raiders. Adjusting to some unorthodox plays there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Wicker up at that net.
Strong block back. Matona sends it back. Still alive. Roll shot. Set up. Sybil with a back row attack. And the dig goes up. And the Comets aren't going to be able to get it back over. And that's going to be yet another Purple Raider point.
That Sybil, the strength he hit that ball, there was nothing Olivet could have done. It hit that player, and they tried to save it, but there was just no bringing it back.
I mean, that went from the floor to the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
So that just goes to show just the raw power he can hit with.
The velocity he has on those balls.
It's scary. Still alive. Cross keeps it up. Set up. Matonis gets a tip of it up for the block. And Cross is going to lay out, but we won't get anything out of it. Raiders now leading 16-13 here, following that Olivet point. And back to serve for the Comets, Aaron Smith. Smith set. Oh! Yep. It's going to be just out. We had one line judge call it in, but the one that was calling that line there along the sideline with the teams called it out. Raiders now 5 points away from putting away the first set here against Olivet. And Mark Bruns serve on the way. Set up, set middle, swung, and Bruns had his hands there, but hits him and goes back.
Fast enough.
And that's going to send Zach Pringle back to serve for the Comets. Sybil barely keeps it in. Layden sets up. Sybil back row strike. Dug up by Olivet. Tip. Kept alive by Wicker. Set up. Bruns a swing. Oh, and Bruns won't get it over. And a hitting error on Bruns. And the Raiders are going to see a lead go back to 5 here.
Yeah, Bruns is raising that shoulder. He's had a shoulder injury just about all season. And he's still seeing the repercussions of that.
And we had KT tape on the last time we were here.
Oh, yeah.
Calling the game. And Chris Wicker, a strong swing. Blocked, though. Still alive. Set middle. Tipped. Great defensive play by Grenier. Sam Matonis a swing. Still alive. Comets. Oh, my God. Brock Pringle out of nowhere. I mean, I thought that was going to go short, and just out of nowhere, Brock Pringle with the kill.
That was one of those the Raiders didn't even see coming.
Yeah, I barely thought it.
Yeah.
I didn't see that come until it happened. Just a great play there. Layden with the tip. Still alive. Tipped. Wicker up with it. Layden sets it up. Sybil swings. Sybil gets the kill.
There's that Sybil strike. He does that. It's every game. It's beautiful to watch. That's the volleyball that's fun to watch by the Purple Raiders. Beautiful play. Flawless. This is a beautiful brand of volleyball we're seeing tonight here from the Purple Raiders. 21-16 in favor of the Raiders here late here in the first set. Andrew Chen's float on the way. Up outside, swung. Chen, great defensive play. Layden keeps it alive. Bruns passes it over. Set up opposite. Swung. Oh, point Raiders.
And that's going to be a point for the Raiders. Can you believe it? Looked like it.
The team's going wild on the bench over there.
Almost hit the antenna, just caved inside, but went out of bounds. And that's going to force Olivet to burn their second time out here.
That was a crucial point in this first set, and I think that really just set the tone for the rest of the game. Going into these following sets, that was kind of Olivet's defeat because they really they kind of let that get in their head,
That's for sure, and that's big. 3 points left. Olivet can't do anything now to try and stem the Raiders' momentum at all, barring just making plays themselves.
Yeah.
So this is big. This is probably going to allow the Raiders to easily put away this set now.
For sure.
That's for sure. And a dominant performance to open conference play so far from the Purple Raiders. And Mark Bruns looks to be getting back from that shoulder injury that we've had. Last time I mentioned that he had KT tape on. definitely looking. It looks like he's swinging a lot better now.
He's had that. It's been an all-season thing, and his stats at the beginning of the season, like even in preseason, were surely affected by it. And it definitely seems to be getting better. I know he's been resting it in practice, and the Purple Raiders just want him back to his full capacity for sure.
Chen's still back here to serve for the Raiders. 3 points away from putting away the first set here tonight. Chen's float goes back, saved up, set middle, swung, and it's blocked back by Samuel Matonis. What a play by the big man there, getting the stuff
Getting
at the
excited
line,
up at the
one-on-one.
Oh, yeah. That's what he lives for sure.
23-16 in favor of the Raiders. Chen's float goes to the back, set opposite, swung, kept alive by Chen, set up, Matonis a swing, still alive. Rolling shot, blocked back by Matonis and Sybil. And the Raiders have moved into set point position.
We've got the crew up here on the floor right now. Last year's team this is really who we saw playing last year too.
Yeah, the freshmen that saw a lot of time in their first year, and a lot of them to grow up a lot. Chen serve up, set opposite, swung. Oh, that's going to be a kill off of Brunn's foot there by number 13, Brock Pringle. Interestingly enough, we got a pair of brothers on here. Zach and Brock Pringle on this team, both seniors. Chen keeps it in, set up, outside, Sybil a swing, still alive, set up, outside, swung, blocked back, and it came down the Raiders' side. And that's going to shrink the Raiders' lead back down to 6, 24-18 here. Raiders still sitting just 1 point away from going up 1-0 on sets. Dig by Chen, set up, Sybil, swing, kill!
That's the way you end the set. That's it right there.
And Justin Sybil puts the first set away here tonight. 25-18 with a strong swing as the Raiders open up 1-0 on sets here in their conference opener of MCVL play here. And what are your thoughts on the first set, start to finish?
This is the Raider play that fans know and love. They will love watching those boys and their chemistry, and they love watching them get excited to be here. There wasn't this intensity or this energy the last time we saw a home game, so it's good to see them bringing it. They certainly have more crowds more fans in the crowd, and it's really interesting when you look at these Purple Raiders. You see freshman, sophomore. There's only 2 juniors on the team, and so this is a young team. And so the way that they look to dominate in the years to come, it's exciting. It's not just about this game; it's about what the future has to come for these Purple Raiders.
Oh, that's for sure. You mentioned freshman, sophomore playing. I mean, Sam Matonis, Mark Bruns, Jeremy Layden, Steve Grenier, all these guys getting so much playing time when they were freshmen is huge. I mean, it's monumental. You can't overstate how important that is for the program because they gained so much valuable experience last year, even though they lost a lot going, 8-20 in the first year of this program. They got so much playing time that now they're ready to go.
Yeah.
They know what it's like to play at this level and play against guys that, to be completely honest, most guys don't swing like Justin Sybil or Andrew Cross in high school. Usually maybe find one guy on a team. Really good teams, maybe 2, maybe 3. But you usually don't have a lot of guys that swing with that amount of power. So now they've had a year where they're used to having guys where a lot of guys can swing with that power and practicing against guys who have that amount of power. And that's huge for the development of this team.
For sure. In fact, talking to Stephen Grenier, as you were talking, sophomore, he was stating the exact same thing. He was talking about that home game that they had against Wittenberg, and he basically just talked about how good it felt because Wittenberg creamed them last year, completely and totally destroyed them, and that was their first game ever playing together as a team. And so to be able to start and get completely and totally 3-0 killed to being able to basically kill that team, it has to be an incredible feeling for these men, knowing that the changes and the development this team has had in just a year.
Mm-hmm. And looking over some stats we just got here, looking at errors, Raiders just 3. Count them, 3 total errors there in the first set. Whereas Olivet, we got 9 there. And that's the tail of the tape. That's the difference in that first set there, is the Raiders controlling the errors and playing clean volleyball allowed them to have that big lead and comfortably win that first set. And about to get underway here as the teams that broke the huddle retaking the court, and should be just seconds away from beginning the second set here tonight. Grenier coming on for Matonis, and Layden heading back to kick things off here with the opening serve of the second set. Strong serve there by Layden. Tipped up, set over, still alive. Cross gets it up. Grenier's just going to pass over all he can do. Pringle, a swing, and that's going to go out of bounds, wide of the antenna, and that's going to give the Raiders the opening point of this set. Got a little tongue-tied there.
Layden knew before the ball even hit the ground that it was out.
Upset, middle, tip, and a kill there as Grenier just can't quite get there on the off-speed hit. Strong serve there by Smith. Set up, cross, swung, dug up, set out, Prince. Prince swings, blocked back by Cross, still alive. And Prince tries to get it over with a swing from his arm, and it's going to go wide left and out of bounds. Raiders go up 2-1 here in the second as Sybil heads back to serve for the Raiders. Oh, Justin Sybil, too much mustard on that, sends it out of bounds, long.
Sybil's, all of his serves are always very, very, very strong. It's just a matter of if they go in or not. And they're more often than not they're in. But if you're on the other end of a serve, you better be ready.
Mark Bruns swing, and Mark Bruns gets the kill. As the Comets aren't able to get a good pass, that is to say. And that'll send Andrew Chen to the line. Strong serve. Oh, that's going to go just about look to be about a foot out of bounds. Just a little too long there from the freshman Andrew Cross. And another guy just like Sybil, where he's got a lot of power there. It's just a matter if he hits in the right spot to keep it in. Strong swing by Pringle, stays in. Set up. Back row attack by Sybil, but it's going to stay on the Raiders' side of the net, and that's going to be an Olivet point. Olivet now first lead of the game, leading 4-3 here. Raiders got to bounce back here. Pringle sends it out wide left, and the Raiders will get things tied up here, 4-all.
It feels as though Olivet is really pulling left. All their serves seem to go in left. They're off their blocks. They're all going left.
And they're playing the Raiders pretty tight to start things off as Bruns serve hits over, set up. Oh, and that's a little bit of trickery there by Giorgi, as he sets it right to the middle of the court where none of the Purple Raiders were, let alone expecting it, and that'll send his teammate Prince to the line to serve, and Prince sends it long. Raiders will get it back 5-all here in the second. Andrew Chen, pardon me, back to serve here for the Purple Raiders, looking to get some separation here early on in the second. Float serve kept up. Giorgi sets outside, swung, and that's going to be a kill for Aaron Smith. A strong swing there for the freshman hitter out of St. Anthony, Minnesota.
That was good playing there by Olivet for sure.
That's a great play there with a non-traditional sort of set there, the pass set. Oh, a strong swing by Sybil there, and that's going to be a kill for the Purple Raiders. Pringle and just kind of just kind of stunned. Not much he could have done there. He just looked like he was stunned from the pure velocity as it hit him.
Looked like the ball went flat when it hit his arms. It was going so hard at him.
I'm glad I'm up here and not down there. That's to say the least. Wicker's serve a little short but stays in. Smith swung, dug up by Chen. Swung by Cross, still alive. Hits the beam, comes back, and that's going to be a kill for the Purple Raiders there. As Olivet can't quite play it after it goes off the I-beam up here to the left of us and comes back the other way. And Colin Quattro at the line. Prince with the dig, set outside Smith. Smith swings, but line judge is going to call it outside the antenna. So the Purple Raiders will move up 8-6 here. Colin Quattro serve just a little bit too short, won't make it over the tape. And that's going to shrink the Purple Raider lead back down to 1 here. And back to serve now for Olivet. Number 8, Aaron Giorgi. Dug by Chen. Set outside. Sybil swings. Oh, and it won't. Rides the tape for a while before heading out of bounds. Tough break there for the Raiders. Giorgi's float serves kept in. Cross a swing. Blocked. Kept alive by the Comets. Set outside. Smith a swing. Hits the antenna, and that's a Purple Raider point.
Seems to be a common occurrence here with Olivet being able to they hit the pin and the net, and they need to stay back and they need to stay in. They're really wide in that court.
Yeah, you are right. There's starting to emerge kind of a tendency there for them to pull things to the left. As Layton sends a strong serve down the line, tipped up, kept alive by Sybil. Cross swung. Oh, he's going to send a wide left. And Olivet's going to get a point off the air. 9-all here. Smith serve on the way. A strong low serve. Dug up. Sybil a tip. Picked up by the Comets. Set up middle. Smith a swing, and Smith's going to get a strong kill there into the backcourt.
Up at the net there, we saw some of that friction with the Raiders. They're bumping into each other. This is some of what we saw in the first game. This is what we don't want to get into, and we're seeing it again.
Ooh, this time Smith's going to send his serve into the middle of the net, and the Purple Raiders are going to once again find themselves all tied up here. This time, 10-all. And the Purple Raiders got to try and find a way to bounce back here and try and get some separation.
We brought Wicker in, and he seems to be pretty good at the net, so we'll see what he can bring for the team.
And the junior Justin Sybil serving now for the Raiders. A laser beam, and that's going to land. Ooh. Looks to be on the free throw line for basketball, just about a foot inside the back line. And the Purple Raiders are going to get a nice service ace off there. And I don't blame Olivet for thinking that was going to go out. That was so close.
Perfect placement.
Exactly. Another laser beam. This time heads off of the defensive player, and that's going to be another ace there. This one off of Sturck as he can't get a good pass off it, and it's going to head backwards into the wall here right in front of us. And that's going to force all of that to burn their first timeout here of the second set here. Raiders leading 12-10. And Meg, what are your thoughts?
I know you've said it before, but I'll say it again. I would not want to. I'm glad up here, and I'm not on Olivet's side when Justin Sybil is serving. His serve is tremendous. He is definitely crucial for the Purple Raiders, as we've seen, of course. In all their games, he's definitely their leading scorer. I think that Stephen Grenier is not having the game he normally does. He's definitely doing a very, very good job, but I know what he's capable of as a libero. He's not necessarily bringing that tonight, and I know he's just not gotten put in very many circumstances where he can show that, because he's a very good player for the Purple Raiders. And I think Chris Wicker is having a very good night at the nets. He saved a couple balls for the Purple Raiders and kept them in play in times that they probably should have lost points in the net.
Yeah, and I think the Raiders are probably going to bounce back and probably start to get some separation here. I think these two service aces are going to prove to be pretty huge because, like we saw in the first set, errors was a real big dividing point for these two teams. And this serve by Sybil is going to head way out of bounds out the back And Olivet's going to begin to serve here as Zach Pringle, that is, heads back to serve for the Comets. Dug up by Sybil, swung out. Chris Wicker blocked back, still alive, and Layton can't get there.
Creating a dog pile up at the net. Purple Raiders trying to get the ball back over.
12's all here in the second set. Olivet tying things up once again as they continue to play the Raiders very tight here in the second set, looking to avoid going down 2-0. Pringle's low, off of Sybil's hands and out of bounds.
Oof.
Rough play there for Justin Sybil there, as he can't get a good, goes with his hands to try and get the set dig, and just can't get it.
Justin Sybil's a player who gets in his head too, so watching him and making sure after this point, seeing what he can do.
Sybil gets redemption on this dig. Bruns with a swing, and Bruns is going to get the kill as Aaron Smith can't get a good pass off it. It's going to head back out of bounds for a Purple Raider point. 13's all here now as Andrew Cross, the freshman from St. Louis, heads back to serve. Strong serve is going to hit the tape and go straight down. And that's going to be a service there going against the Raiders and a point for the Olivet Comets.
Andrew Cross usually has a very strong serve, so it's interesting this game to see the hitting errors at the line.
Mm-hmm. And Brock Pringle, falls up Cross's service error with a service error of his own. And we're once again tied up again for what feels like the umpteenth time, this time at 14's all. Mark Bruns, a strong serve, dug up by Pringle. Set up middle, swung, and he's going to get a kill there. Hayes with a timely swing, tip, sort of half swing, half tip there to the middle of the back row. Prince with a float, serve, kept alive, up to the net, tipped up and over by Layton, a whistle blown.
They're up two.
And that's going to go against the Raiders. Looked like Layton or someone up there at the net,
close to the net
got into the net a little bit there. And Olivet find themselves up 16-14 here in the middle of the set. Dug by Wicker, set up. Sybil back row strike,
Oof.
and Sybil's going to knock that man down, and he's going to get the kill for the Purple Raiders.
Justin Sybil, I know.
I'll say it again. I'm glad I'm not on having to face that, because
I don't know if you can tell on the screen, but those are coming in hot. There's some speed on his hits.
It's crazy. Andrew Chen with a float serve for the Purple Raiders now. Up, swung Smith, dug up by Chen. Set up, Matonis swung. Matonis is going to get the kill off the block by Aaron Smith. And the Raiders tie it all up here at 16's all. Chen's serve on the way, just clears. Set outside, Smith swings, and Smith's going to send it wide right out of bounds. And the Purple Raiders are going to get back up here, 17-16 here in the second set.
I'm not sure if you've noticed, but this first-year dynamic, every time these six gents are in together, there's some magic that definitely happens on the court. Like you talked about that experience from last year, we're definitely seeing the repercussions of that because they're doing a tremendous job together.
Hayes with a tip, dug by Grenier, set outside, Bruns swings, and Bruns is going to hit down just inside the back row, and that's going to be a Purple Raider kill.
We've got some highlight reel shots in this set for sure, for both Bruns and for Matonis and for Sybil. All three of them.
Mm-hmm. Mount Union up 2 now, 18-16 here in the middle of the second set. Looking to start pulling away here. Chen with another short float serve out. Smith swings, and Smith's going to get it just inside that back right corner of the Purple Raiders back row for a kill. And I tell you what, Aaron Smith, he's only a freshman. Kid's only a freshman, but sometimes he makes plays that really look like Justin Sybil. As Hayes' strong serve dug up by Grenier, out to Sybil, a strong hit, kept alive by the Comets. Kringle tries to save it and get it over from the back row, but his swing's going to send it into the net. Purple Raiders leading once again by 2, 19-17 here in the second set. And that's going to bring Colin Quattro, a freshman, in here. a freshman serving specialist that is in here for the Purple Raiders. Off-speed float for Quattro. Aaron Smith up the net, and that man went way into the net there.
He went on the other side of the court.
Yeah, he didn't just, he swung, he got his whole arm in that net, and then he went on the other side. So if you weren't going to call him for the net, you were definitely going to call him for heading under the line. Raiders up by 3 here, 2017, as they start to pull away. Quattro, a short floater, up to the net, blocked by the Raiders, and sent out of bounds by the, oh no, that's a point for the Comets.
Interesting.
So someone must have been up in the net. Must have been one of them, the member of the Raiders front row there, must have been in the net.
I think this is the most in the net I've seen in one game, in a single game.
A lot
for
of
collegiate volleyball, anyway.
Set up. Sybil with the tip, and Sybil with the kill off the tip there. As Georgie can't quite get there to stop it.
His tip is just as deadly as the beamers.
Yeah, because he's smart with it. He's smart with it. No one was there. No one was expecting him to just tip it lightly. Layden, a strong serve, goes into the tape and stays on the Raiders' side. And we're once again seeing Olivet pulling back within 2 here as the Raiders lead 21-19 late here in the second set. Aaron Smith hits the tape on a serve, and that's going to be a service error as the Raiders will move within 3 points of clinching the second set tonight. And Justin Sybil heading to the line. This is a good guy you want going to your line if you're Coach Mihalik. This is a guy who's very capable of being a closer from the service line.
Very strategic placement in the lineup there.
A strong serve and a strong service ace as Devon Prince can't get a pass off it, and it heads out of bounds. And that's going to force Olivet to burn their second timeout here with the Raiders leading 23-19 late in the second set. And Maggie, what are your thoughts?
I think that the Purple Raiders have definitely, they've gotten their ideas of what they want to do. Like we talked about, though, that first year 6, Andrew Chen, Mark Bruns, Justin Sybil, Stephen Grenier, Sam Matonis, they all of them, when they play together, there's that chemistry that we talked about before the game even started. It's they play together, they know how each other's plays, they know what to expect. Jeremy Layden, he sets so much better when he's comfortable with who he's setting for, so that's setting for Mark Bruns on the outside, or he's setting for the middle, Sam Matonis. I think that they're figuring that out, and honestly, the issue that has been this set that has kept them from winning yet to closing off the set is definitely service errors. We've had a lot of service errors for the Raiders this set.
And you mentioned Layden and how he's comfortable with the people he's saying he sets better. That's chemistry right there, and you can tie that right back into that whole. He's played so much with these guys. Oh
yeah, even in high school they've all played together, so they're very comfortable with each other coming into collegiate volleyball.
Laser beam from Sybil, and I thought that hit line.
Looked in.
I think that was line. I don't know about that call. Side line judge is going to call that out, but
it looked like it was on the line. I thought the same thing.
I would bet a lot of money that hit line if we went back and did a video review. But either way, 23-20 Raiders. Set up, cross with a swing, still alive. Georgie gets a hand on it. Smith passes it over. Grenier with the dig. Set up, cross, swung, and Cross is going to get the kill. And the Raiders are going to move once again into set point position here. Up 24-20 as Cross heads to the line after his kill with a chance to put it all away here in the second set. Strong serve up the net. Tips it over, kept alive by Cross. Bruns with it. Wicker hits it, tipped, and it's going to stay off the block. Goes off Aaron Smith as he dives to try and get it, and that's going to be the second set. Raiders will take it 25-20 as they move up 2-0 on sets here over Olivet, and will head to the third, looking to close out their first win as a member of the MCVL.
I think going into this next set, I don't want to necessarily say final set because, of course, we never know, especially with the Purple Raiders. It's crucial that they keep this momentum going because the Purple Raiders have a tendency to close out the first 2 sets and then kind of fall behind in the third set and then drag it into either a fourth or even a fifth set. And so just keeping that momentum and getting that 3-0 win against Olivet is super, super crucial for the Purple Raiders this evening.
Yeah, and that's for sure. And you know, Olivet, we saw when they limit their errors, they're very capable of playing with this Purple Raider team. And when you look at their record, let's see, look at them. They're 1-8. You got to wonder how much of that lies on them not controlling their errors when you watch them play here against a team that we know can play. And it's certainly going to be very good this year and very exciting to watch in the Purple Raiders here. You got to wonder, how good could this team be if they controlled their errors better? Because that's really what has kept them back in this game is errors. When they're not making errors, they're playing very tight with the Raiders tonight.
Looks like the Purple Raiders aren't even necessarily using their huddle, kind of just waiting for that in-between set break so that way they can come back on the court.
Yeah, it looks like they're just kind of,
they feel comfortable.
Yeah, assistant coach Adam Hamid is just kind of down there talking to him, but doesn't seem like they're very worried down there. Whereas Olivet, surprisingly, has already broken the huddle here with a minute 15 left in the intermission.
Mount Union is known for taking a long time in the huddles.
Yeah, we noticed that last time they took their good time breaking the huddle last time when we were here for their home opener against Wittenberg.
Yeah. They use every second of it. They want to make sure that the men go out with the right mentality and that they know what they're doing when they go out there because there's not a whole lot of time in between points. And trust me, there's not a whole lot of time before the ball leaves the individual who's serving to the other side of the net. They've got no time to think.
And a really quick match we've had so far. Just 7:49, about to be 7:50.
Yeah.
And we might be out of here by 8:10, I should say. That's a very quick match for volleyball.
Especially for the University of Mount Union.
Yeah, a team that's typically been going to 4. When we look at their wins, they've got 1 sweep. Their only sweep on the year was over a first-year program in St. Vincent. Everyone else they've pushed to at least 4. Penn State Barron went to 5, and their road win this week at Wittenberg went to 5 as well. It's pretty usual for them to slip up and cough up a set at some point. So it's a nice trend for the Purple Raiders, looking to get their first sweep against a team that's not a first-year program. That's a good positive sign that you can view as a building block here. Grenier and Matonis about to do their routine switch as they jump up, double high five, and Matonis heads out. Grenier comes in, and the Raiders are ready to rock and roll here at the MAC. Aaron Georgie back to serve for the Comets to start things off here in the third. Dug by Sybil up. Sybil swings. Sybil sends it line for the kill. And the Raiders open up 1-0 here in the third.
That's how you start the third set right there. Right on the line, perfect placement, beam, beautiful. I mean, we all over Justin Sybil, but he's worth it. I mean, everything he does, it's miraculous.
Strong serve by Layden for the Raiders. Set up outside, Pringle swings. Pringle sends it wide. And the Purple Raiders go up 2-0 here in the third. And you can't say enough good things about Justin Sybil. I mean, he sniped the line there from the clear other side of the. He hit cross court and sniped the line.
And it's not even an anomaly. He does stuff like that all the time.
Another strong serve by Layden. Set opposite, swung, blocked, still alive. Sybil tries to get it over, gets it over off the block, and he's going to get the kill.
Once again, Justin Sybil.
And who else but Justin Sybil coming up for the big play for the Purple Raiders. Jeremy Layden back once again here to serve. Bench getting into it for the Raiders. Set outside, Pringle swung, and Pringle's going to send it long and out of bounds. Raiders now up 4-0 for what seems like the first time in a while they've had a 4-point lead. If you really think about it. Although they did get it late in the second. It feels like it's been forever since they've had a lead like this.
For sure.
Because Olivet was playing so tight with them in the second set. Another strong serve there by Layden. Set up, middle. Met at the net, and it's going to stay on Olivet's side. Andrew Cross there with the rejection for the Raiders as their lead balloons to 5 here. And it can't be much more long before the Comets are forced to burn a timeout here.
You can sense the excitement. You can feel it in the Raiders. They know. They want to bring home that sweep.
Set outside. Pringle swings, blocked back. Oh, but it's going to stay on the Purple Raiders side off the block from Bruns. And that's going to get Olivet on the board for the first time tonight. Raiders lead now just 5-1. As Zach Pringle heads back to the line to serve for his Comets. And Pringle's serve, his float serve, is going to head just a little bit too long.
Good eye by Grenier there.
That was a very good eye by Grenier there. Who's a guy defensively, kind of the equivalent of Justin Sibley, who's going back to serve for the Raiders. You know, you really can't say enough good things about his defensive prowess.
Stephen Grenier he's a libero that he's the definition of dedicated, you know, constantly just beautifully saving balls for Mount Union.
Grenier gets a second hit. Wicker with the pass over. Last second shot, swung, dug up by Layden. And whistle blown. And that one's going to be heading against Mount Union. I'm trying to see what the call was, and the ref didn't make a hand signal. The one ref did make a comment, but we couldn't hear it up here. Layden sets up, Sybil back row strike, sent back, saved by Grenier. Layden gets it, and Wicker's just going to have to pass it back over. Set, outside, swung. Oh, and that's going to be just inside. Jeremy Layden pulling back, thinking it was going to go long, and it comes just about a foot or so in. Raiders lead now just by 3, 6-3 here in the third, with Aaron Smith back to serve for Olivet. Grenier gets the save, runs, swung, blocked, and his head's out of bounds. Just out of bounds there.
That was close.
And the Raiders are going to get the point there, and the Raiders got lucky there. That came pretty close. I would say
that barely.
That maybe had within a fraction of an inch before it could have been considered on the line. Now, whether it would have been called is a different story, but Andrew Cross, a strong serve. Set up, Pringle, swung. And he's going to snatch Jeremy Layden's ankles and get the kill. Rock Pringle and line judge made it was all that player was Prince was tying his shoe there. I was confused for a second, but Pringle, another solid serve. Bruns swung. Still alive by the Comets. Set, swung. Oh my Lord. Devin Prince, what a swing. I don't know how he kept it from going outside the pin, but a phenomenal kill there by him.
Caught Justin Sybil off guard, and that's a hard thing to do.
I don't think the Purple Raiders thought that was coming in. Shorter serve by Pringle. Wicker with a swing. Will he get the tip? No, he won't. As it went long, they're going to say no tip. And that's going to make the Purple Raiders lead. Getting tongue-tied again here. Just down to 1 here. 7-6 as Olivet is surging back here in the third. Set. It's Matonis. A swing, and Matonis the kill. Raiders lead by 2 once again. 8-6.
And I gotta say, it's so much fun watching Sam Matonis do anything of sort on the court, because there's a celebration. He could tip the ball over, and there's a celebration.
Runs back to serve for the Raiders. Set, outside, Prince tries to get the tip, and blocked back by Jeremy Layden. And the Raiders lead is pushed to 3.
Very nice, because Jeremy Layden's a setter. He's not used to spending much time up. Yeah, he's used to being at the net, but he's not used to doing a whole lot of blocking. So.
Yeah, blocking's not his primary job description. So when he can do something like that, he's got to get fired up. Runs a strong serve up the net. Tipped by the Raiders. Swung by Layden.
Oh.
Layden.
Man, maybe they should give Layden an outside job, man.
Layden might need to get some hidden time.
Oh, for sure. Mahalik's thinking about it. He's
notches a kill there, and the Raiders lead pushed back up to 4, 10-6 here early on in the third. set, middle, and that's going to be a kill for the Comets there. Hayes with a great ball placement, hitting where the Raiders aren't here, over to the right, towards the line in the right back of the Raiders' back row.
He went right outside Matonis' block and far enough forward that he wasn't hitting Grenier. The placement on that was beautiful.
And Chris Wicker, a big swing and a big kill there off a great save by Steven Grenier off a short serve. Raiders leading 11-7 here in the third set as Andrew Chen comes on to serve. Up, roll shot, dug up by Grenier. Layden at the net, keeps it alive, runs, avoids diving into over the scorer's table to get it, and that's going to be a point for the Comets. And not much he could have done there aside from actually diving over and taking someone out.
Even so, the Purple Raiders still, they seem very relaxed on their side of the court. They seem comfortable with one another.
And Justin Sybil, a strong swing and a strong kill there. You know, just saying how you're talking about how relaxed they are. We see Justin Sybil come up and just pound the ball into the line there for a Purple Raider kill. And you're right, they look like they're playing pretty relaxed, up 2-0 in sets, up 4 here, and you know they just play their game, limit their errors. They're going to put this away in 3. As Quattro's serve barely clears, and Quattro's going to get the service
on
ace.
On a floater serve.
On a float serve, a low float serve that barely clears the tape. It's going to go off of Prince's foot, it looked like, and he's going to get the ace. Up, swung, and Quattro can't quite get there to save it, and that's going to be a point for the Comets. Raiders now lead just 13-8 here in the middle as we get into the middle of the third set tonight. Giorgi's heading back to serve for Olivet, and we're looking to try and draw things closer here for his team. Shallow serve by Giorgi, set up, Brunn swung, still alive. Giorgi roll shot to keep it over. Set up, cross, swung. I think he's gonna. Nope, won't get the tip there.
It looked like it was a little wide, but it's right idea. Purple, they shouldn't get discouraged. You know that they had the right idea there.
Sends it a little wide there, but fortunately doesn't get the tip up at the net. And serve goes wide right, well wide left for Giorgi. It'd be his left, our right up here, and heads out of bounds for a Purple Raider point. Setter Jeremy Layden now serving for the Raiders. A strong serve into the back row. Set up, middle, swung, blocked back by Andrew Cross. The freshman from St. Louis with another big play for the Purple Raiders tonight.
You hear the bench go wild over there. They're so excited. They're ready for the game to be over, and they're ready to have that 3-0 sweep.
They're ready to go celebrate this win, and they're having a lot of fun. Another strong serve by Layden. Giorgi sets outside Pringle. Pringle swings, blocked by Bruns. Layden sets it back. Bruns with a swing, and Bruns is going to get the kill as the Purple Raiders lead balloons to 6 here in the middle of the third set.
Back to that 6-point lead. We haven't seen that since the first set, and that forces a timeout, which is beautiful. This is crucial for the Purple Raiders.
Yep, that's going to force Olivet to burn their first timeout here of the half. Surprising, it took them a while to get that. Thought they almost were about to early on when the Raiders came out to a 5-0 lead. But what are your thoughts here so far through the third?
I think the Purple Raiders are doing everything they need to. I really don't think that there's any way to improve things. I think that there haven't been very many service errors here in the third set. They're tremendous play, even when they're trying to execute points, like that point where Andrew Cross was just a nick out. Everything is being done with the right idea. They're playing some tremendous volleyball this evening. They're making their school proud for sure.
Oh, that's for sure. And now back to serve. Layden still back to serve for the Raiders. And about to get back underway as Layden's ready to serve. Layden's strong serve. Georgie sets up. Pringle sends it over. Chen with the back row attack. Keeps it in. Set over by Pringle. Pringle's set's going to go, way out of bounds for a Purple Raider point. Raiders leading by 7 here. Ooh, a strong serve by Layden, but this one's going to head into the net and get a point to the Comets. Layden sets up. Sybil, a strong swing, heads out of bounds. Raiders lead. Oh, and it's going to go out of bounds. Yep, so Raiders lead just 17-12 now. Yeah.
All right, watching the Purple Raiders here. Andrew Cross tipping it over. Olivet getting it back to us. Jeremy Layden with the set. Mark Bruns smashing it down. Looks like we're giving that point to the Purple Raiders. It's giving the Raiders a 6-point lead as we continue on in this game, and we're going to have Justin Sybil serve, which I know, as Ben has talked before in the night, that is somebody close to the end of the set you want serving. You want him to be continuing just the strength of the team for sure. A wide hit there. And so the serve's going to go to number 11 for Olivet. Looks like Aaron Smith. Strong serve for Smith. Bruns nicks it out. And into the tape, it looks like maybe Stephen Grenier. Not sure if that was Cross or Grenier, I couldn't tell.
And Aaron Smith back to serve for the Comets. We're back. And we're back here. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties here with our connection to the station. But we're back here, and we're back here to deliver Purple Raider men's volleyball to all you tuning in to 91.1 WRMU. Smith back to serve. Another strong serve dug by Sybil. Set up. Sybil, a back row strike. Kept alive by the Comets. Over. Dug by Grenier. Set, out, Krebs with a swing, and that's going to be a kill for the Purple Raiders as the Comets can't get a pass off of it. Raiders now leading 19-15 here as we get into the later part of the third. And Andrew Cross back to serve for the Raiders. Kept up, set, tipped. And the Raiders can't get anything out of it, and that's going to be a point for Olivet.
Going out of that point, I do want to acknowledge Andrew Cross's serve. His serve, as a freshman especially, is so strong, especially considering he's leading the team in blocks. You wouldn't necessarily think his specialty would be in serves because we have Colin Quattro coming in, but it is a strong serve.
Pringle's serve narrowly gets over. Krebs gets up. Krebs with a strong swing, blocked back, kept alive by Layden. Roll shot by Sybil. Set up, middle, swung. What a save by Steve Grenier. Justin Sybil, a back row strike. Oh, it's going to go into the net for an Olivet point. And that's a shame, man. That was a beautiful sequence there for the Raiders. Big plays. And a shame that back row strike from Justin had to go into the net. Raiders lead by just 2 now as Pringle's serve gets over. Bruns with a swing. Dug up by Pringle. Swung by Hayes. And Hayes is going to get the kill. Raider lead now down to just 1 once again. 19-18 here as we're getting into the later stages of the third set here. Raiders need to start coming up with some plays here if they're going to pull away and finish this game out.
For sure.
Brock Pringle's serve gets over again. Swung by Matonis, and Matonis
puts it away.
Gets the kill, man. What a swing by Sam Matonis just when his team needed it. And that's going to put the Raiders up 20-18 here with Bruns heading to the line. Runs a strong swing, dug up by Pringle. Set middle, swung, and a kill there by Hayes. And Dan Hayes, the junior outside hitter from Battle Creek. A nice play there for Olivet. Layden sets out, runs, swings. Kept alive by the Comets. Georgie passes up, tip, stays on their side, blocked back. Brock Pringle swings, dug up by Sybil. Sets out, Krebs with a tip and a call. And that one's going to be heading against the Comets here. And the Purple Raiders are going to be picking up a point. And Andrew Chen, that'll send Andrew Chen back to the line here for the Purple Raiders. Just 4 points away from closing out the night. And their first sweep of the season. Well, second.
First home sweep for sure.
And the first sweep over a more established program than a first-year St. Vincent program. Blocked back by the Raiders front row. Free ball strike. Oh, Grenier tries to get a hand on Georgie's swing. Lays out, but it's gonna his pass goes out of bounds, and that's a shame. Great effort there by Steve, but he just can't get a good pass off it. Set up, Sybil swings, and Sybil gets the strong kill for the Purple Raiders.
That point is seriously crucial in this game here. You know, that 2-point lead, the Raiders need to keep that in order to finish off the set. And for Justin Sybil to do it, that's the token right there.
Colin Quattro, the freshman serving specialist, in now. A float serve. Outside, swung, blocked back by Andrew Cross, and the Purple Raiders are up 23-20, just 2 points away from sweeping Olivet here. And that's going to force a timeout here from the Comets as they burn their second timeout of the set.
I'm not sure the Purple Raiders have taken a timeout this entire game, have they, Ben? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe they have.
No, in fact, they haven't. It's been all Olivet who've burned every single timeout they've had to burn this game, 2 in every set.
That just shows how comfortable the University of Mount Union was in this game this evening. You know, we're 2 points away from hopefully ending the game, and you can seriously sense that in these young men down here. I know the huddle's a little bit wide from the camera, but to describe to you, it's strength. That's all you can sense from this team. They're the energy. They know that they have about swept their W, and there's confidence coming out on the court with that break.
As a matter of fact, before the game, you know, to get just some stuff pre-typed up for timeouts, to do score updates, so I didn't have to type everything out. You know, I had Olivet, a couple for them, just kind of pre-typed out. And that's all I've used. And a big swing there by Justin Silva, but a heads wide left for Olivet point. But going back to what I was saying, I had 4 already pre-typed out. I used all 4 of those, and I've had to copy and paste some, because all Olivet's done is call the timeouts tonight. Not a single Purple Raider timeout has been burned. Georgie, an off-speed, shorter serve. A big swing by Sybil, kept alive by the Comets. Free ball. Bruns gets the dig, set up, cross. Oh, that big cross-court swing, but just a tad out of bounds.
That was close.
And Olivet pulls it back within 1 here, 23-22 down the stretch here late in the third. Trying furiously to fight back and avoid a sweep as Georgie sends another short float. Tipped up, Sybil with a swing, blocked out of bounds, and that's a Purple Raider point as they move into match point position and look to set away the game as Jeremy Layden heads to the line.
Oh, you could cut the tension here with a knife. You can tell that they want this sweep for sure.
Set outside, Pringle swings. Ooh, and it's going to go just inside for an Olivet kill. 24-23. Raiders, if they can get a point on this next point, they can avoid going to, you know, an extended, essentially overtime in the set. Zach Pringle at the line. Float serve. Dug by Grenier. Set up. Sybil with the swing. Dug, it's alive. Georgie gets a touch. Up the line. It's over. Andrew Chen set, out. Bruns with a swing, still alive. Grenier, set, Sybil, and that's game!
That's match. Beautiful way to end it. Of course it was Justin Sybil there. Amazing game by the Purple Raiders. That well-deserved 3-0 win.
And Justin Sybil calls game.
Yeah.
And the Raiders, and the Mountain Union Raiders going to get the sweep tonight. And Maggie, what were your overall thoughts on tonight's game?
Okay, for just the second home game that the Purple Raiders have had, they definitely feel so much more comfortable than they did at that first home game. We saw they were a little bit hesitant coming out, and there was a fear definitely that they wouldn't bring home the home opener victory. Tonight, the entire time, the Purple Raiders felt secure in this victory. They knew coming out, obviously the team that they were playing was less victorious in the past, but they still. Purple Raiders cheering on their crowd.
Yeah, getting a round of applause from the crowd, which looked a little bigger than the last game we were at.
For sure.
And if they can keep winning, they're
going to have a fan base for sure.
Yep, slowly but surely. That's what I was going to say. Slowly but surely, they're going to attract people, and they're going to get people to buy in on watching men's volleyball. And it looks like they're going to do that this season. And to myself, Ben Johnson Bowers, who is here on the play-by-play, Maggie Craig on the color, and Jared Mullen back in the studio at the station, keeping us on air, and everyone involved here at 91.1 WRMU. Have a good night, and thanks for tuning in.